The census, now and then. I was looking at the 1940 census, Lewis, and then at the 2010 census, and I thought it would be interesting to go through some of the differences. 132 million people was the population of the U.S. in 1940, now more than double that at 308 million. Still plenty of areas, though, where people really have plenty of space. I'm not feeling crowded yet.
No, there's plenty of room, but still you have to assume that in 100 years, it's probably going to be a lot more than 600 million.
Well, we are seeing exponential acceleration in the growth, population growth.
You know, you do the math. Things could get real bad real quick.
In 1940, almost 90% of the American population was white. In 2010, down to less than 75%. Uh-oh. Pat Buchanan must be right. We're being overrun by Hispanics, and white people soon will be relegated to
minority status.
Minority status. And which, by the way, minority status has only been bad historically because of white people, right? I mean, if minority status didn't have to be worse, it ended up being that way until we were able to kind of overcome that over the last 100 years. Okay, bachelor's degrees. In 1940, 5% of the population had bachelor's degrees. In 2010, 28% of the population had bachelor's degrees, almost 6 times as much. Now, if we look at that, I think that it's interesting to look at that in connection with where people held jobs. In 1940, the biggest job areas were manufacturing and agriculture. Not at all the case now. Now, the biggest job areas, or at least in 2010, were educational services, healthcare, social assistance, and retail trade. So when you look at that, I think that that is certainly connected with why there are more people with bachelor's degrees. The question is which caused which, right? Did more people obtaining bachelor's degrees lead to a shift in the most common areas of work? I actually don't think so. I think that what we saw is the decline of manufacturing due to outsourcing and agriculture jobs being decreased by increased efficiency in agriculture.
And technology, yeah.
Led to other job areas rising, which created the need for more people to obtain bachelor's degrees. That's the way I see it.
I think so.
If we look at women, in 1940, less than 4% of women had bachelor's degrees or any kind of college degree, whereas now 28% of women have a college degree. Are you surprised that on the whole it's still only 28% of women that hold bachelor's degrees?
That is kind of surprising.
You think it's low?
It is. It does seem a little low.
Natan, I mean, what do you make of that number?
The fact that it's so low.
Well, is it low to you?
What, 28%?
Yeah.
You said? What percentage of men have bachelor's degrees?
It's very slightly higher.
Well, I mean, if it's similar, then I guess that's pretty equal.
Okay. Well, the difference is that in 1940, the discrepancy was much more significant percentage-wise.
Well, obviously, there's been a lot of advancement in terms of equality among the sexes, as they say.
In 1940, women were earning 62 cents on the dollar compared to men, and in 2010, up to 74 cents. If we look at marriage statistics, this is pretty interesting. The number of people married by age 19 has been basically the percentage cut in half from 1940 to 2010. Not at all surprising.
But the divorce rate has gone up.
The divorce rate has also gone up. Yeah, and if we look at the number that were married during ages 20 to 34, that's also down close to 50% from 1940 numbers. So marriage seemingly an institution that is kind of continues to be in decline, Lewis.
Yeah, well, maybe it's for the better.
Does that concern you? I mean, you've been a big anti-marriage advocate, haven't you? Of course, you believe gays and lesbians should be able to do whatever heterosexuals are able to do.
I mean, I'm for equal rights. That doesn't mean I enjoy the thought of marriage.
Right. I mean, is that something you would ever partake in?
Marriage?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, yeah.
As you famously mentioned, if you accidentally had a kid, you would probably love the kid.
Probably.
But a very separate issue from the issue of marriage.
Very separate, yeah. Marriage and fatherhood are not necessarily connected.
Really?
Anything can happen.
Are you surprised by that comment from Lewis and Time?
Well, I mean, what does it mean that they're not connected?
Yeah.
I mean, basically what I'm saying is you might not be aware of this, but you can be a father and not be married.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's true. It happens. Yeah.
You've read about that on the internet, I'm sure.
I heard about it somewhere. I think it was on the televisions.
All right. So needless to say, a lot of changes since 1940, changes that are very, very scary to a lot of conservative right-wingers, but a lot of welcome changes, I would have to say, Lewis, depending on one's point of view.
Yes, I think education is good. Good to see that people are taking up higher education.
Because it is a liberal conspiracy to convert people to progressive doctrine.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. Or maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Well, according to Rick Santorum.
Right.
On the bonus show today, 200 baggage thefts a day at JFK. Hey, I get criticized for not checking bags. You should not be checking bags at JFK is clearly what we're revealing here. We'll talk about some weird sleep disorders, including sexomnia. We'll find out if Lewis has ever suffered from that or been on the receiving end of that disorder. DavidPakman.com/membership.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.